Namam Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktitirtha Swaminiti Namine Namaste Krishnapadaya Prabhupada Shritatmane Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhaktitirtha Namine Namam Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvadevam Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadim Paschate Desatarine Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Vishakan Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavindan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Namo Namo Aniruddhaya Hishikeshendriyatmane Namah Paramahamsaya Purnaya Nibhatatmane Swarga Pavarga Dwaraya Nityam Suchi Sade Namah Namah Hiranya Viryaya Chaturhotraya Tantave. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for assembling here for the celebration of Sri Balaram Jayanti Mahautsav. And it's really wonderful. It's a very compact, small group. So I'm going to keep the class a bit small. I guess, how much time? Perhaps 30 minutes? Or how much time do I have?
30 minutes.
30, 40 minutes? Yeah?
Maybe 30 minutes plus 10 minutes for questions.
Okay. So when we want to understand the appearance and the activities of the Lord, we want to be able to take direction from Scripture on how to understand. Because there is a certain way to understand. And the very specific verse which Krishna uses in the Bhagavad Gita to talk about appearances is 4.9. Janma karma chame divyam evam vetti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So Krishna says in this verse, in 4.9, that one has to understand his appearance through the means of tattva, which is Shastra. It's practically through tattva we can come to understand it. It can't be due to apparent considerations. It has to be due to absolute consideration, which is Shastra. And absolute consideration, which is Shastra, talks about Balaram and talks about his various activities in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we would also be touching upon his appearance as Lakshman, in the mood of Lakshman, and then finally as Lord Nityananda, to better understand the context in which we need to understand his appearance in our lives as Lord Nityananda Ram. We call him Nityananda Ram. So Balaram, the older brother of Krishna, needs no introduction. Obviously we have been hearing Balaram Jayanti classes for years as we have been in Krishna consciousness. So we just want to touch upon it in a certain way so that we can expand upon his relationship with Krishna. He has a very interesting relationship with Krishna. What is normally known is that he has the relationship of being an older brother. He is the dearest friend of Krishna. So he is in the mood of a friend. He participates in Sakya Ras with Krishna. So he is the dearest friend. And he assembles along with the other cowherd boys. Very early in the morning, Balaram in Vraja has a buffalo horn. He calls upon using the buffalo horn, and he wakes up 3 types of relationships in the eternal Dham of Vraja. The 3 types of relationships which Balaram wakes up, because he is the master. He is the one who engages devotees in the Nitya Seva in 3 mellows in Vraja. When he blows upon the buffalo horn very early in the morning after he wakes up, he calls upon those who are in Vatsalya Ras. Because Balaram plays the role of a parent as well, because he plays the role of a guru to Krishna. So he is the older brother. He is empowered by Mother Yashoda. She empowers him, orders him, saying, take care of him. He is your younger brother. He needs help. You have to ensure that you are able to take care of him and he is safe. So the blessings are given by Mother Yashoda. Balaram takes on that particular role of being an older brother and a guru. Krishna has a Diksha Guru, which is Sandipani Muni. And then Balaram is the other guru. That's why he is, in one sense, he is the Adi Guru, because he is the guru of Krishna as well. So he takes on the relationship of Vatsalya, of parenthood. Okay? He takes on the relationship of parenthood. And he assures Mother Yashoda before leaving to the forest, saying, don't worry, I'm going to take care of Krishna, don't worry. So Balaram and his friends are older than Krishna, and they are older in appearance, and they're also by nature protective. They have their own little group. Their mandali is very different. It's a different group altogether. Balaram's group. Krishna's group is a little different. The mood is a little different. They're younger. Balaram's is older. He has all kinds of older friends. Sridham is his closest friend. Anyways, so this is the first class. He is in the Vatsalya mood. So he wakes up those who are in Vatsalya Rasa when he blows upon the buffalo horn. So he also engages those devotees who have the mood of wanting to engage in Vatsalya Bhav with Krishna. He wakes them up into Nitya Seva. He enters and he allows them to enter into Nitya Seva. So Balaram is the master of Vatsalya Rasa as well. The second aspect is Balaram, when he blows upon the buffalo horn very early in the morning, he is calling upon all the cowherd boys of Raja. He is the master of Sakyaras, of friendship. He calls upon all the cowherd boys of Raja, and it is said in Shastra that because the spiritual sky is unlimited, Goloka is unlimited, Nandagram is unlimited, billions and billions and zillions of cowherd boys assemble and the bugle of Balaram. The relationship with Krishna says there's practically a stampede as they want to reach Krishna's house, wanting to engage in Sakyaras. They're packing their little tiffins. Wonderful sweetmeats are being performed, prepared by the mums, the mothers. Some of you Matajis, I better be careful here in Birmingham. Yeah, I have to be strict with my language. Yeah. So, the mothers prepare lunches and they are in the mood of wanting to prepare for Krishna. And the cowherd boys are also very much in the mood of wanting to feed Krishna. So they pack their lunches and they all assemble in Nandagram. So Balaram wakes up those in Sakyaras. Very famously, he wakes up those in Vatsalyaras through his bugle, through his buffalo horn. And then the third class is where Balaram wakes up those in Dasya. Now when he wakes up those in Dasya, he himself has the mood of Dasyaras. We read about Balaram having his own rasa dance. In reality, the opinion of our acharyas is that he has no enjoyment whatsoever in the rasa dance. The enjoyment in the rasa dance that he has with his friends is far, far less compared to his mood of wanting to serve his brother, Krishna. The mood of wanting to serve Krishna is far more prominent in Balaram. So he's in that bhav of Sevaka bhav. So he is Sevaka Bhagwan. So the concept is he exists for seva. And to manifest this seva, he expands into the Nitya Parikar or the eternal servants of Krishna in Vatsalya, in Sakya, in Dasya. They have all expanded from Balaram. He wants to experience Leela and he expands into his internal potency Ananga Manjari, who is the younger sister of Srimati Radhika. He expands as Ananga to experience Leela. So this is the internal potency. Non-different, but internal, to experience a different flavor of mellow with in the rasa which is available in Raja. The same Balaram is called Mula Sankarshana. He is called Mula because he is the root of the Sankarshana Tattva. So there is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha. Balaram is Sankarshana. He is Mula Sankarshana. He tells Krishna, Krishna, you don't worry. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to engage in this business, the boring business of creation, maintenance, destruction. I'll take care of it. Krishna, you don't worry about it. So this Mula Sankarshana, Balaram, he expands into Mahasankarshana. So it is Balaram as Mula Sankarshana who expands into Mahasankarshana. And then the Purusha avatar, as the Srimad Bhagavatam says, the first avatar of Karanodakasai Vishnu, he lies on the causal ocean. This is Balaram. Karanodakasai Vishnu glances over inert matter, Pradhan. He glances. That glance takes on the form of Lord Shiva and engages with material energy. So this is Balaram. Then Karanodakasai Vishnu expands into Garbhodakasai Vishnu. To maintain the universes, he expands and he enters into the universes. And from him come Brahma and Rudra and everybody else. And then the same Shri Garbhodakasai Vishnu expands as Shirodakasai Vishnu. So we have watched this for many, many years, where we see Lord Vishnu lying on an ocean of milk, where the Devas, the demigods, approach him for benedictions. They approach him whenever they are in trouble. This is within the material universe. There is a Vaikuntha section within the material universe where he maintains the material universe. This is Shirodakasai Vishnu. This is the expansion of Balaram. There are parts and parts and parts. All avatars are manifestations of Balaram. All avatars are manifestations of Balaram. When he takes on the mood of Lakshman, it's a special mood. He expands as Lord Ram. So in Tattva, Lord Ram is equal to Balaram. He expands as Ram, but he also expands as Lakshman. So in Bhava, he becomes an younger brother. He is dealing with Lord Ram. And what happens in the Ramayana? What do we notice in the Ramayana? As a younger brother, Sri Lakshman watches his older brother Ram undergo great suffering. In his eyes, he is being discomforted. He is in so much discomfort. There are so many different challenges. He is Maryada Purushottama. So he goes through all kinds of challenges. He goes through all kinds of challenges. And as a consequence, Lakshman watches all of that and he is being forced to tolerate everything. He tolerates the inconvenience caused to Lord Ram when he manifests his pastimes. Lord Ram goes through so many different inconveniences, though it's Leela, but there is a certain understanding that it was hardship, even though it was Leela. There was hardship. So Balaram undergoes the penance of watching his brother suffer, apparent suffering, not absolute suffering. He watches that as well. So he tolerates that. He has no tolerance in Raja. We notice that Krishna plays around with the Asuras. Balaram doesn't. He kills them. He has no tolerance. He has no tolerance. He doesn't play around with the demons. He kills them. Krishna has some little manifestation of pastimes. Balaram doesn't. He doesn't like to play around with all these things. He just kills them. If he has to kill them, he kills them. He removes the obstacle. Now, the same Sri Balaram, when he manifests his pastimes as Lord Nityananda, he takes on a completely different mood. Initially, he appears as the Guru of Lord Chaitanya. He does. Lord Chaitanya reveres him as the Guru. Lord Chaitanya makes him sit and offers him Vyas Puja. That is the first Vyas Puja. And Lord Nityananda's mood is an extraordinary mood. It's a very complex mood. Balaram's mood is also very complex. It's not easy to understand because he is the Adi Guru. He is the original Guru. Understanding Guru Tattva is very difficult. Understanding Shiva Tattva is very difficult. It's very difficult. It is said that Balaram is the Adi Guru. He drives away ignorance. Lord Shiva drives away ignorance. Balaram drives away ignorance at a subtle platform where he instills bhakti, he instills knowledge in us. Lord Shiva destroys the external covering as Rudra and instills knowledge. When Lord Shiva participates in anybody's house, if the Lord Shiva comes in and there is death, there's crying. Rudra literally means to cry, Rud, and he destroys the external manifestation and gives knowledge. Because this is also Maya. This Maya needs to be destroyed. So both of them do the function of destruction of matter, destruction of the material covering, and bestowing knowledge. Now the beauty is Sri Balaram has a different function altogether in the spiritual sky. Now we hear of Krishna's form. Krishna's form, and Krishna is Sat. So he is eternal. The existence in the spiritual sky is eternal. Spiritual pastimes are eternal. Spiritual connections are eternal. We engage in seva here We are engaging in the chanting of the holy names, and we continue to chant the holy names eternally. It's an eternal seva. So there is an eternality component if you talk about spirituality. Spirituality is eternal. Eternal. We say there cannot be interruption in pleasure. Spiritual pleasure cannot be interrupted. And as a consequence, spirituality is eternal. It is Sat. Truth cannot change. It is eternal by nature. So the eternal existence of the Dham, the entire existence and the manifestation of the Dham, is Balaram's potency. It is the Sandhini potency. It's the Sat potency. Okay. Balaram's potency is the Sat potency, which is the eternality of time which exists in the spiritual sky. There is no such thing as a material manifestation. So there's an eternal time, there's eternal time manifestation, and eternal existence, and everything in the spiritual sky is Balaram's potency, which is the internal potency of Sandhini. The Acharyas opine Krishna's form is the Sandhini potency, as it is eternal, Sat. It is also Balaram's potency. Krishna's form is a manifestation of Balaram's potency of Sandhini. Krishna is the giver of knowledge, so he rules over Chit. He gives us knowledge, he gives us Sambandha. He is Rasaraj, Akila Rasamrita Sindhu. He is the ocean of all rasas, and he engages with us in different mellows. And he is a giver of Sambandha Gyan, so he rules over Chit. Srimati Radharani, who is the internal potency of Krishna, rules over the bliss potency, which is Ananda. So in the Mahamantra, some acharyas also have the opinion that the Hare is the bliss potency, Krishna is the knowledge-giving potency, which is Chit, Hare is Ananda, and Rama is the Sat, which is the eternal existence of the holy names, the eternality, and Sat, which is a part of the holy names. So Sat, Chit, and Ananda, all three, Hare, Rama, and Krishna. This is the opinion of acharyas as well. So there is Sandhini, there's Samvit, and there's Hladini. These are three different potencies, which are internal potencies of Krishna, and Balaram rules over Sandhini. So, in one sense, wanting to understand Balaram, one also has to understand that he plays the role of Adi Guru. So in our system, we worship Lord Nityananda, and the Vyas Puja, the first Vyas Puja is being offered to Lord Nityananda by Lord Chaitanya in our movement. And Lord Nityananda is very difficult to understand. Lord Nityananda is very difficult to understand because externally he follows no formalities whatsoever. And why is it so? It is so bewildering. Lord Nityananda, when he comes down to Navadvip, follows no rules, no regulations. He follows no regulations. It is understood that Lord Chaitanya played a little trick on Sri Haridas Thakur by pairing him with Lord Nityananda Ram. One was this old person who was an extraordinary traditionalist. He was very strict. And there was Nityananda Ram who was completely uncontrollable. He paired them up and gave them orders, go and distribute the holy names. So Lord Nityananda manifests this pastime. This is Balaram, but it's a very unusual pastime of actually not following any kind of rule and practically becoming so unpredictable, but becoming extraordinarily approachable. See, when a person is not very structured in terms of rules and regulations and so on, then he becomes very approachable by all classes of people. So Lord Nityananda just distributed the holy name in Navadvip and in Bengal, and he practically made himself approachable. He practically made himself available to all classes of people. Everybody approached him, and everybody could come and approach him and have a conversation with him. Lord Chaitanya was very different. But the same pastime occurred. He told Lord Chaitanya was going to engage in his internal pastimes, his confidential pastimes. Be in Jagannath Puri, engage in your confidential pastimes. Towards the end of Adi Leela, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami talks about a single verse where he says that Lord Chaitanya manifested his Shadbhuja Rupa to Lord Nityananda. He showed his Shadbhuja Rupa. The Shadbhuja Rupa is 6-armed, Shadbhuja. The 6 arms are 2 arms of Lord Chaitanya, 2 arms of Krishna, and 2 arms of Lord Ram. When Lord Nityananda saw the feature of Lord Ram coming out of Lord Chaitanya's frame, the moment he saw the manifestation of Ram, he was immediately reminded of himself being Lakshman. So that was the beginning of Dasya Bhakti in Gaur Leela. If it has to begin, the beginning has to happen with Lord Nityananda. It cannot happen anywhere else because he is the Adi Guru. So for us, Dasya begins with Lord Nityananda assuming the mood of Lakshman by seeing Lord Chaitanya as Lord Ram. When he sees Lord Chaitanya as Lord Ram, he immediately turns internally as Lakshman. This allows Lord Chaitanya to order him, go, spread the message. Otherwise, how would he order his guru? How would he order a superior? He can't order a superior. He had to order Lakshman. So he takes up the order of Lord Chaitanya just as much as Lakshman took the order of Lord Ram. Lakshman, it is said in Sri Ram Leela, he did not sleep for those 14 years. He did not eat. He was so austere in wanting to serve, and he was so focused in wanting to serve, that he did not do anything for his own pleasure. He existed for the pleasure of Lord Ram. Lord Nityananda took on that mood the moment he saw Lord Chaitanya manifest the form of Lord Ram. And from that moment on, Lord Nityananda started spreading the mission. Now, Srila Prabhupada, when he came here, there are many accounts where they said that when he came to the West, this is Lord Nityananda's Kripa. And how is this Lord Nityananda's Kripa? It is Lord Nityananda's Kripa because he carried the potency of Lord Nityananda in him. And when he spoke and he chanted first in New York City, in Tompkins Park, he vibrated the holy names. He just took a kartal and he chanted the holy names. And from that time on, the movement began again. He carried the potency of Lord Nityananda. What does it mean? The potency of Lord Nityananda is completely non-judgmental. He is completely non-judgmental. Srila Prabhupada had the same mood. He was teaching people what to do right. There was no doubt about it. But he was completely non-judgmental in terms of who could receive prema. Srila Prabhupada did not distinguish externally. If he saw even the smallest quality of someone being attracted to the holy names, he was wanting to encourage them. This manifestation is the manifestation of Balaram. It is Balaram who was extraordinarily benevolent even to Duryodhana. He was benevolent to Duryodhana. He did not judge him. His point was Duryodhana is doing something right. He has Guru Bhakti. He has approached me in certain ways, so I have to give him mercy. Srila Prabhupada was of the same mood. Someone comes and someone is doing a little bit of seva, give him mercy. This is the mood of our acharyas. Lord Nityananda had the same mood. See? He practically used to roll on the floor in Navadvip, in Mayapur, if someone refuses to chant. He used to roll on the floor in anguish. This anguish of Lord Nityananda is because he could not complete the service which Lord Chaitanya asked him to complete to distribute the holy name. The anguish that he felt deep within was the anguish that, as Lakshman would feel, that my brother has ordered me and I could not complete his words. I am trying to distribute and they are not taking up the holy name. And he used to cry and roll in anguish because he was not able to complete the order of Lord Chaitanya. He literally used to feel that way. So this is the mood of Lord Nityananda, and this is the mood of Balaram, and this is the mood of Guru. So the Guru has affection, he has love, he has intense compassion for us. This manifestation of Guru and the Guru Tattva is from Balaram. Krishna attracts us through two means. There are two means of attraction. One is through the holy names and the other is through the Guru. Every Guru who attracts, while speaking Krishna Katha, because they carry potency, they carry faith in their hearts, they become attractive. And when they speak Guru Mukha Padmavakya, Chitete Koryakya, they're able to establish Krishna and they establish faith in the hearts of the listeners. This attraction comes from the manifestation of Balaram's potency. He's Sankarshana. He is the one who attracts. The attraction comes through that. He attracts through the means of Siksha and Diksha Gurus. We listen to someone. How do we know? There's such an amazing mystical process that we listen and then we develop an attraction. So we listen. Everybody is a Siksha Guru when they speak. Then one of them becomes a Diksha. This manifestation of Diksha, of taking formal initiation and then establishing faith in our hearts and becoming Guru. This is the potency of establishing us in the eternal existence of Sandhini. This is the Sandhini potency, eternal existence, where eternally we are connected to Krishna, reintroducing us and establishing faith and establishing that connection. This is Balaram's potency. It's a very interesting manifestation. It's so mystical. It is so organic that we don't need to do anything. We just have Sangha and then we develop attraction for Krishna. How does this attraction happen? It is because of Sankarshana. His servant, Lord Shiva, has a similar mood. Lord Shiva is an ardent worshipper of Balaram as Sankarshana. And whenever there is destruction in the material world, when you see the avatars of Krishna holding arms and wanting to destroy, that is Balaram. If you see the avatars of the Lord sitting down, being worshipped with the Lakshmi Rupa, being in very well peacefully situated, that is the Vasudev Rupa. Sankarshana means taking up arms. Ugra Nrsimhadev, Sankarshana, Balaram. Lord Ram fighting Ravan in Lanka with his bow and arrow. That is Balaram's mood, Sankarshana. When he sits in Ayodhya, then that is the Vasudev percussion. So there's a subtle change in tattva depending on the deity's role. There's a subtle change in tattva depending on the avatar's role. It could be the same personality. So this is the reason why we say, worship Sri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev. Do not worship Ugra Nrsimhadev, for Grahasthas. Where is this distinction coming from? Because Ugra Nrsimhadev is Sankarshan. It's very different. His mood is very different. Lakshmi Nrsimhadev is in the mood of Vasudev. It's very different. You see? It's a completely different mood simply based on function. They change their mood. So this is again the manifestation of Balaram. So all the activities which are unpleasant, so-called unpleasant activities, everything is divyam. Everything is divyam. It's all transcendental. But from a material manifestation, when we look at it, and there's destruction, there's war, and the Lord is taking up, He is tearing up Hiranyakashipu or firing the arrow into Ravana. All of this is Balaram's potency, Sankarshana. This is Sankarshana. Lord Shiva takes inspiration from Sankarshana. Lord Shiva takes inspiration from Sankarshana. Lord Shiva has a pure heart. He is Atmaram, and in his heart, Sankarshana sits. When Sankarshana dictates to Lord Shiva to destroy, he destroys. And why is Lord Shiva the Param Vaishnav? Because we are talking about Balaram's Tattva. Why is it that someone who is connected so closely to Lord Sankarshana is the Param Vaishnav? Why is he the Supreme Vaishnav? He is the Supreme Vaishnav because, and he is, I'll tell you, we talk about bridge preaching. Everybody here heard of bridge preaching? Obviously in England, outside of India, we're familiar with bridge preaching. The original bridge preacher was Lord Shiva. The original bridge preacher was Lord Shiva. What is bridge preaching? What did Shiva do? He practically transformed himself. Lord Shiva is dancing in the crematoriums, attracting the ghouls, the ghosts, giving them guidance, giving them gati, giving them some direction. This is preaching as well. So he doesn't mind taking on the particular role. If you look at the role of Balaram's servant, it's very, very unusual. We can understand Balaram through the manifestation of the role of his servants. Lord Shiva, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear about the description where he sits under a tree. And when he sits under a tree, Mother Parvati is sitting on his lap. And you have extraordinarily highly situated transcendentalists also situated right below at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva receiving knowledge. So there's a huge contradiction in terms of the personality and people who approach him. They are renunciates, but they approach him and he is a grahastha. And this particular role of being an eclectic personality where he can inspire a ghost for certain reasons and give gati and give direction. He can inspire the highest transcendentalist. This is Param Vaishnav. He is completely non-envious. He doesn't judge based on the appearance whatsoever. He does not even look to see what wrong has been done. He is there ready to benedict. He's saying if there is some quality of prayaschitta, there's some quality of repentance, there's some quality of tapasya, I'm ready to benedict you. Here, take this boon. Sometimes he gives dangerous boons. Okay, he gives very dangerous boons, but then why does he do it? He says, oh, you're engaged in tapasya, I can't discourage you. Here's my benevolence, take this. The smallest of quality, he is so non-envious. This is the reason why he is Param Vaishnav. This is the same quality of Sri Balaram. Balaram has the same quality. That's the reason why Lord Shiva has the same quality. Lord Shiva is, you can say, the material manifestation of Balaram, isn't it? Several opinions, several expansions have occurred. Karanodakasai Vishnu has glanced over material energy. That glance is Lord Shiva. In one sense, he is an expansion of Balaram. They carry the same mood. So you can understand Balaram's mood of complete non-enviousness and being able to give whatever is required at every level by just observing his servant Lord Shiva. Towards the end of creation, and what is the end of creation? What do we mean by end of creation? Is it simply a matter of time? What do we mean by end of creation? When does destruction occur in life, in our own lives? When do we become destructive? When do we become destructive? When does the creation stop and when do we become destructive?
We are forgetful of Krishna.
I'm sorry?
We are forgetful of Krishna.
We are fallen?
When we are forgetful.
We are forgetful, which is ignorance. When we are filled with tamas, then destruction begins. When a predominance of tamas, mode of ignorance, exists in the material manifestation, the master of Lord Shiva, who is an expansion of Balaram, Lord Ananta, he becomes angry. This anger is transcendental anger. He is looking at material manifestation. I have created this jagat. It is my potency. I have impregnated this jagat with souls so that they could engage and they could practically be able to absolve themselves. Instead, they have not done what they're supposed to do. He becomes angry. Out of that anger, Lord Shiva appears. So he takes mood of Lord Ananta and he begins the process of destruction. The destruction of material universes occur due to the compassion of Lord Ananta. It is the compassion of Lord Ananta who is an expansion of Balaram for the service of Krishna. It is his disturbance in his compassion where he looks at, he says, I have given them an opportunity and they're just not using it. That is when destruction begins. So what do we notice here? We practically notice that Sri Balaram is the first expansion from Krishna. He takes on the mood of a servant. He serves Krishna in three different ways. He serves him as Guru, as an older brother. He serves him as Saka on an equal basis. There's Vishramba. Balaram lies down and Krishna massages his lotus feet. Krishna lies down, Balaram massages Krishna's lotus feet. There's Vishramba, there's equality. And then Balaram serves him in Dasya. The Dasya Bhav of Balaram is manifested in terms of many ways. He practically arranges for everything. The entire spiritual realm is Balaram. The entire expansion of Krishna is Balaram, where Krishna doesn't have to be disturbed. Don't get into this creation, maintenance, destruction, this nonsense. Krishna, you have your fun. You play around in Braja, and then I'll take care of everything. This is complete mood of Dasya. So Dasya also begins there. So now you have 3 out of 4 major rasas, mellows in Braja, being dominated by one personality who is Balaram. If someone is aspiring for Vatsalya Ras, the Nitya Seva is being given by Balaram. Sakya Ras, Nitya Seva is given by Balaram. Dasya Ras, Nitya Seva is given by Balaram. So it is an amazing, amazing combination. It's an amazing combination where he's practically existing to serve. He is completely non-different and he exists to serve. He's Sevaka. And his expansions are the personalities who come literally in the mood of Lakshman. Why do we talk of Lakshman? Why don't we talk of the many different personalities in Vaikuntha? Because in Ram Leela, there is a relationship. There is a relationship of Sakyaras. In Vaikuntha planets, there's just authority. In Ram Leela, there's more. There is Sakyaras. There's a relationship of brotherhood. So we talk about it very fondly. And then we see the manifestation of Balaram in Gaur Leela. Lord Gauranga descends and Lord Nityananda descends to serve him. And we see the service is of 2 different types. He serves him as an older brother. He also serves him as a younger brother who is taking orders. He serves him in Dasya, he serves him in Vatsalya, he serves him in Saka. He serves him in 3 different mellows while he's on the planet. And he serves him so wonderfully by expanding into the Nitya Parikar. Every guru is a manifestation of Balaram. So in practically, it is Balaram who manifests himself and he attracts us. The attraction of holy names and the attraction in Guru comes from Balaram. So he engages us in the eternal seva of Krishna. So we are very fortunate to be a part of this small assembly who are glorifying Sri Nityananda Ram. I'm very partial to Gaur Leela. So again and again I come back down to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Ram. So you take me down and you bring me, I just come back again and again. So very, very happy to be here, to be able to share the glories of Sri Balaram. And look at this here. They seem to be more prominent than Krishna Balaram. Krishna Balaram a little hidden. They seem to be more prominent here. Gaur Nitai, Lord Nityananda Ram. So they have manifested themselves, and we are very fortunate to be here. I'll just stop here because I don't want to take up, I don't believe there's much time. So I'll stop here, and maybe there's a comment or a question, and we can go on to the next part of the program. Okay, everybody wants prasadam. Okay. Shri Balaram ki, Krishna Balaram ki. Yes, Prabhu, sorry.
How do we get the mercy of Balaram?
How do we get the mercy of Shri Balaram? By chanting the holy names and serving Shri Guru. Serving Shri Guru and chanting the holy names. It's very simple. The orders of Shri Guru, I've spoken about it in other classes. The orders of Shri Guru, the Nitya Seva that Shri Guru has given us, according to Shastra, is of 5 types. The first is engage in Sadhu Sangha. The second is to engage in Namasmaran, Namakirtan. The third is Bhagavat Shravana. The fourth is to engage in Murti Seva. And the fifth, of course, is having an aspiration to live in Braja. So these are the 5 tenets which our acharyas have given. There are 64 different ways to serve Krishna, but it is the opinion of our acharyas that these are the most superior. This is the superior angas. These are 5 which are superlative. This is the opinion of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So when we focus on these 5 tenets, and these are so basic, they are so simple, but they are foundational, then that foundation is the Sandhini potency of Balaram, of spiritual existence. And when we intensify the activities in these 5 branches of devotional service, then we come closer and closer to being able to serve Krishna the way he wants us to serve. To distinguish, the Guru, if he is thirsty, may say, I want a cup of water. The disciple who is conditioned may say, I know how to make milk wonderfully. I like to make milk wonderfully. I can add pistachios, badam, almonds, I can make wonderful, thick masala milk. This is conditioning. The conditioning that he can do something. He is good at something. The Guru is saying, give me water. And the disciple is saying, I'm good at making milk. So Guru Maharaj, please have milk. No, I'm thirsty. I want water. No, I made it. Please have milk. No, I'm thirsty. I just want water. Just get me a cup of water. No, Guru Maharaj, please, I made it. I took so much trouble. It took so much time. I boiled the milk. I added all the masalas. I did all of this. Please take it. I'm thirsty. Just give me a cup of water. So this cry of the Guru of just give me a cup of water is not heard into the ears of the disciple because their own connection to the material world has not dissolved properly. So we tend to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada based on our conditioning. But when the conditioning wears off, and when we're able to hear the true orders and the true pleasure of Krishna, then we're able to render proper service, and that's eternal service. So how do we get there from one stage to the other? That is the process of sadhana bhakti. And that is the process of the Nitya Seva of the 5 most important limbs. Most important amongst those being chanting. Srila Jiva Goswami is of the opinion that one didn't even read Shastra if they were to 100% focus on the glorification of the holy names. All Shastric conclusions will dance in their heart. This is the opinion of our acharyas. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was an illiterate. He had complete, profound conclusions of Shastra very deeply situated in his heart. Where did it come from? It came from the chanting of japa. It came from the holy names. He was very attached. He didn't follow rules. He didn't follow regulations whatsoever. He was an avadut. He was a Babaji. He was beyond all of that in certain ways. He was not approachable by normal people. But what did he do? He chanted. He chanted very sincerely. It's fashionable in a movement. It is very fashionable to think there are other things which are important. There are other things which can help. There are many things which are needed. We hear this. The fact is no. This is the conclusion of Acharyas. There are only 5 tenets which our Acharyas have given us. They have, and they practiced it in Vraja. They practiced it with a loincloth sitting under different trees, different days. It is their realization which is maintaining us today. So who are we being maintained by? We don't have such amazing realizations. It is the Goswami's realizations. And where did their realizations come from? Their realizations came from these 5 tenets. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is the conclusion of the Acharyas. So if someone asked me in a class a few weeks back, saying, how do we know what kind of service is favorable for us? The answer is we don't. The answer is we don't. But if we perform the Nitya Seva in a very strict way, then it will be revealed to us as to what Krishna wants. And we will be able to serve him according to his desires instead of wanting to serve him based on our conditioning. So there's a big difference between the two. Being conditioned and serving and being free of conditioning. And that difference in being able to cross over that bridge is going to come from Nitya Seva. It is going to come from Nitya Seva. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Because we hear this so many times. We don't want to be new age people. We don't want to do that. We have Siddhanta, we have Shastra. Let's follow that. Because the conclusions of Shastra are very, very definitive and they bring us the truth and they have worked. If they have worked for millenniums, why do something different? It's very simple. The most important tenet is chanting. Yeah. Sacrifice anything and everything to get the chanting properly done. But it doesn't mean Krishna doesn't accept other kinds of service. If someone has inclination to serve in other ways, so be it. They would develop devotional credit. The devotional credit would become a foundation for them to be able to chant, ultimately. You see? It's a foundation. You're building a foundation so that you can ultimately chant. So you can't really replace what was recommended by something new. If you're inclined to do something, it is fine. Do it. Krishna will accept it. He will give you credits and then you can build upon it and you will eventually develop the enthusiasm to chant. So ultimately the barometer of success in our movement is to be able to measure ourselves in our enthusiasm for Sangha, measure ourselves in our enthusiasm for being able to chant, measure ourselves for enthusiasm to be able to read the Bhagavad, and measure ourselves for enthusiasm to be able to serve the deities in the Sangha of devotees, and wanting to transform Birmingham into Vraja, not going from here and settling down in Vraja. Yeah? Prabhupada wanted us to transform the West into Vraja. That's his order. So we go, get surcharged, come here and transform. That's what we do. We are not Bhajananandis. We don't want to go and then sit there and say that this is my kutir and I'm going to chant. Yeah, for a couple of years you can do that, but you better come back. Because your work is here. You see, my spiritual master, His Holiness Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, used to say that we ought to aspire to die in the battlefield. We want to die in the battlefield. This is the battlefield. We want to preach and we want to leave on the battlefield. Yeah. And wherever we are, and wherever we're engaging in the service of Srila Prabhupada, He is there with us. He will be there to take care of us. So I'll stop here. You just asked one question, but I just had to take care of it. Yeah?
Yeah. We'll just repeat those 5 again.
It is Sadhu Sangha.
Did you say them in English?
Yeah, it is Sadhu Sangha, which is the association with devotees who are aligned with the movement of Lord Chaitanya. It is Namasmaran, or remembering the holy names. It could be through the process of Kirtan or it could be through the process of Japa. But Japa is preferred in addition to Kirtan. 3 is to be able to read the Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptural conclusions for inspiration and also for us to understand our own experiences. 4, for us to be able to serve in Vraja, in Vrindavan. or to transform and bring a manifestation of Vrindavan wherever we are, which is the order of Lord Chaitanya. The fifth is for us to be able to worship the deity form very diligently in a wonderful way. All of these are 5, and these are very simple, straightforward, and if we do this very strictly, we're going to get what the Acharyas have promised us. Okay. So we'll stop here. Shri Nityananda Ram ki.